Hello, thanks very much for watching this recording. My name is John, and I'm going to be going through information about the foundation years and the routes into different courses they provide here at the Lifelong Learning Centre at the University of Leeds. We are happy to answer any questions that you have after you've watched this recording. There's lots of information on our website. But if you have further questions, please do feel free to get in touch with us. Our email address is, you should be able to see now, lifelonglearning@leeds.ac.uk. So during this session, I'm going to provide an overview of the courses that you can study here at the Lifelong Learning Centre with regards to foundation years at the University of Leeds, and what you can then progress on to once you've done that initial year, all the different routes and all the different programs that you can do. We'll touch on the entry criteria for our courses, so our academic entry criteria, our qualification requirements, and also our additional criteria, which I'll go into detail about that as well. We'll also have lots of information about the different progression routes that you can go on to as well. So the first place to start is, what is a foundation year? Many people listening to this may have a bit of information or a lot of knowledge about foundation years, but for some people it may be your first time finding out about them. So a foundation year is essentially an additional year of study that you do at university, which is at the start of your studies, and it's a year that prepares you for your chosen degree course. So after you do that initial year, you will then progress on to your chosen degree. Our foundation years at the Lifelong Learning Centre at the University of Leeds are what are called integrated foundation years. What that essentially means is that you start on your foundation year, and when you finish your foundation year, as long as you get the pass score you need, you will then directly progress on to your chosen degree course in your chosen school or faculty at the University of Leeds. There will be no need to reapply. Everything will have been done prior to that already. Now, foundation years give you the opportunity to really develop your skills and knowledge of your academic understanding of your subject area before you go into your chosen degree pathway, because you get that additional year of university study. And as a result, our entry requirements are often lower, quite a bit lower often as well, than it would be for applying directly to your chosen degree course. So really, this section will look a little bit about who can apply for a foundation year and who are they for. Essentially, foundation years are for anybody who perhaps isn't predicted the grades they need for their chosen course, doesn't have the qualifications needed, or perhaps the right mix of qualifications, or just feels like they need that additional year of support. So in any of those instances, you can apply for a foundation year course here at the University of Leeds. Now, full disclosure, there are foundation years at other universities as well, and lots of different options, that you can research into. But within this presentation, we're just going to focus on our Lifelong Learning Centre foundation year routes, which I'll come on to in a minute. They give you that extra time as well to prepare, develop your skills, your understanding of your subject area before you decide, before you progress, should I say, onto your chosen pathway. We'll go into the different routes that you could look into with regards to the courses you could study after a foundation year. But to give you a little bit of information before we get to that point, there are loads, essentially. Pretty much any university degree that you can think of here at the University of Leeds, there will be an alternative pathway, such as the foundation year route into it. So the courses that we're going to focus on today are predominantly going to be our Arts and Humanities foundation year course, our Interdisciplinary Science foundation year programme, and our Business Studies foundation year courses. There are other foundation years at the University of Leeds that you may want to research. There's a Social Science foundation year, which offers a route into social science-based courses. There is also a Gateway Medicine foundation year programme, which is specifically for A-level students between the ages of 18 and 21, who would like to go on to medicine here at Leeds. There's also an international foundation year as well, which is specifically for students coming from different countries to study in the UK. And also at the Lifelong Learning Centre, we do have a part-time foundation year program called Preparation for Higher Education, or shortened to PHE. That is specifically for adult learners, so mature learners. When we say mature learners at the university, we essentially mean anybody who's 21 and above, and that's for mature learners, people who are 21 and above who haven't had the opportunity to maybe get the qualifications they need to go on to study at university. If you do want to find out anything about that program or the courses it progresses onto, I would really advise you to get in contact with us at lifelonglearning@leeds.ac.uk. Have a look on our website. That's the Lifelong Learning Centre, University of Leeds website, or booking an appointment for our advice and guidance service. And I'll speak about that at the end of this presentation. So for our courses that I just outlined there, the Business Studies Foundation Year course, the Arts and Humanities Foundation Year programme, and the Interdisciplinary Science Foundation Year, as well as our academic entry criteria, we also have additional criteria which needs to be met. And this criteria is really looking at attempting to widen the different groups of people who are studying at the university at the moment. And as a result, if you want to study any of these three courses, you also need to meet one of the following three criteria. So you don't need to meet them all, it's just one of the three. You either live in an area with low participation in higher education. Now, what we mean by that is essentially not many people go to university in the locality you live in or the postcode you live in. The school you went to had a lower than average attainment rate of 5 A stars to C or 9 to 4 in the year you sat your GCSEs. It's often commonly called attainment 8 as well, or you care experienced. Now, just to say, not everybody knows if they would meet these criteria or not. It's quite a lot of information to digest. Fully appreciate that. And that's why I would really suggest anybody who's unsure if you meet this criteria or not, don't rule yourself out without speaking to us here at the Lifelong Learning Centre. Our colleagues are really, really happy if you have any questions for you to get in contact with us. And the contact details for each individual course is available on the course information web pages, which I would strongly suggest having a look at. And hopefully we should be able to link to those in the description of this video as well. For mature learners, if you remember, I said that's anybody who's 21 and above. Please do get in contact with us, because in many circumstances this criteria may not need to be met essentially. But I would advise you to get in contact with us, and we will look into that further for you. But any questions about this, please do feel free to get in touch. As I said, our email address for contacting us is lifelonglearning@leeds.ac.uk. That's our general email. We can happily forward that email on to relevant colleagues, but there's also individual email inbox addresses that you can easily find on the course information web pages as well. And the simplest way to find those, if they're not, if you don't have access to the links in the description, is simply to type them into Google, Business Foundation Year, University of Leeds, Lifelong Learning Centre. Type that into your web browser and it should come up. So I've touched on the courses that we offer, and now I'm going to go into a bit more detail, the progression routes, a little bit of information on the way the courses are structured, and also our entry requirements as well. So the Arts and Humanities Foundation Year course is again a one-year program, and once you finish that course, you will progress on to your chosen degree. The typical A-level offer for this program is currently set at CDD, or BTEC Merit Pass. Now, we do accept a wealth of other qualifications to meet the entry requirements for this program. So if you don't have either of those qualifications, don't rule yourself out without speaking to us. We do accept qualifications such as access to HE diploma qualifications, We also accept a mix of qualifications, so if you're doing some A levels or some BTECs combined, but also other qualifications like T levels, for example, are accepted on a case-by-case basis. If you are listening to this and maybe you're over 21 and you don't have any qualifications at all, and you're not currently in compulsory education, then please do get in touch with us, because there can often be other routes into these courses as well. But I would advise you to get in contact with us about those. Now, for the Arts and Humanities Foundation year, there's a wide range of different pathways that you can go on to as well. And this just covers a very small sample of what you can do in the faculties of Arts, Humanities and Cultures. But courses that our students progress on to include things in English, for example, history, journalism, modern languages, so French, Spanish, Chinese, Arabic, for example, music, cultural and performance industries courses, things like liberal arts as well, a huge range of different progression routes, including joint honours degrees as well. So there's a great wealth of different options and opportunities after studying that brilliant course. The next course is the Business Studies with Foundation Year course. The typical A-level offer for this is CCC, CCC, or BTEC Merit, Merit, Merit. So that's the equivalent, I believe, of like 96 UCAS points, although the University of Leeds doesn't use UCAS points. It goes off your actual grades themselves. Now, other qualifications are also accepted as well. So again, don't panic if you don't see your exact qualification on there, if you're not doing an A-level or a BTEC. Other qualifications are accepted, and there's a good list on our course information webpage as well. If you don't find the information or you don't have any qualification at the moment, do get in contact with us and we can look into whether there's a route in there to the course for you, or how you would find that route. Progression routes into the Leeds University Business School include courses, such as accounting and finance, banking and finance, economics, business management with marketing, international business and business management. Slightly different for the Business Studies Foundation year is you study for the first 2 years of your degree course, including your foundation year, with us at the Lifelong Learning Centre. And then for your final 2 years, you'll progress on to the Leeds University Business School. So for your foundation year in year 1, you'll be at the Lifelong Learning Centre. And then for your year 2 and year 3 of your degree, but 3rd and 4th year of your studies, you will be at the Leeds University Business School. For the Interdisciplinary Science Foundation Year course, our typical A-level is CDD or BTEC Merit, Merit Pass. Again, other qualifications are accepted. And there is a wide range of progression routes here, including a number of courses such as courses in mathematics, chemistry, physics, food sciences, engineering degrees, computer science, healthcare courses like nursing, midwifery, medicine, dentistry, also courses like radiography, audiology, cardiac physiology, biological sciences, including biomedical sciences. So huge range of different courses that you can progress onto. I believe it's over 100 plus courses and different routes that you can get onto just from the Science Foundation Year course. So it really is a great pathway onto so many different programs. Our interdisciplinary science, so some key information here is that we have 2 deadlines for our foundation year for this course. For most course progression routes, including things like engineering, biological sciences, chemistry, maths, physics, natural sciences, nursing and midwifery, we have a standard UCAS deadline, the January the 29th deadline for anybody applying for September 2024. However, for some of our healthcare routes, we do have an early deadline, which is in line with the UCAS early October deadline, which is usually on the 15th of October. And this deadline is for courses including medicine, dentistry, dental hygiene, dental therapy, diagnostic radiography, cardiac physiology, and audiology. So for any of those courses, our deadline for applications for September 2024 entry into the foundation year for progression onto those healthcare routes, excluding nursing or midwifery, was the 15th of October 2024. And I realised I've been saying September 2024 when I meant to say September 2025 for entry. And so the January deadline is the standard UCAS deadline, where applications are submitted and get equal consideration for places on programs for starting the subsequent September. So that's September 2025. So just to be clear, the October deadline is for healthcare routes, excluding nursing or midwifery, and the January deadline is the usual deadline for all the other courses from that progression route in interdisciplinary science. Now, if you have any questions at all, please do feel free to contact us, and our email address for our science email inbox is isf@leeds.ac.uk. Now, just to mention as well that the medicine route via the Interdisciplinary Science Foundation Year course is only available for students who are mature learners. It's not available for anybody who is currently in compulsory education or in studying, for example, other qualifications, and is between the ages of 18 and 21. It's only for learners who are 21 and above. As I mentioned, there is another route in called the Gateway to Medicine course. So if you are, for example, studying A-levels at the moment and you're hoping to apply for medicine at the University of Leeds and you're looking for a foundation year route, the Gateway to Medicine course will be the one to look into detail about. We do also have a Science Foundation Year course as well. This is a course which runs parallel with the Science Foundation Year programme, and all the information about the course can be found on our website. It works as a conversion programme as well, so slightly different as it really looks at being a conversion course for students who have studied subjects at level 3 or, for example, at A level or BTEC in perhaps humanities or arts-based subjects who now want to go on to a scientific or math-based subject area. Have a look at our website. There's lots of information about that program. If you have any questions, please do feel free to get in contact with us. So that covers the main 3 programs which we're speaking about today: the Arts and Humanities Foundation Year, the Business Foundation Year, and the Interdisciplinary Science Foundation Year. And for the next few slides, I'm going to go over some key information about those different, this particular routine, and some really good information to know about if you're planning on applying for one of these programs, or if you're weighing up deciding, if you will be or not. The first thing is that when you're applying, you apply through UCAS, just like applying for year 1 of a undergraduate degree, a bachelor's degree, for example. So it will count as one of your 5 choices via UCAS as well. And it's entirely up to you how you use that choice, whether you put it as if you receive offers, accept it as your firm choice or your insurance choice. But it will be classed as a year 0. So when you're choosing the course, it's classed as a year 0. There's no need to reapply in the subsequent year either. If you are accepted onto a foundation year, we will then internally handle your progression onto your degree course once you finish your foundation year course. So there'll be no need to reapply through UCAS. Now, there's no interviews for most of our foundation year courses, and your application will be assessed, and we will make the decision based on the information you provide on your UCAS application. The exception to this is for medicine and health progression routes, which do require interviews, and particularly for some of the routes, including dentistry, do have additional things you will be needing to do alongside that, such as the MMIs, the multiple mini interview. GCSE English language at grade 4 or C or above is usually required for most of our progression routes. Some courses may have additional requirements. For example, some engineering courses may need you to have science GCSEs, and some routes may need you to have higher maths grades. For example, economics is one of those that does require you to have a higher maths GCSE grade. But what you don't need is the GCSE requirements that you'll see on the course information pages for the programs you're going to be progressing on to. All that key information around the GCSEs you require or would need for particular routes will be available on the foundation year course information pages. If you are a adult learner listening to this or watching this and you don't have your GCSEs, please do get in touch with us because there is some additional alternative routes that may be available in some circumstances, but it will depend on which course you're wanting to apply for. So please do feel free to get in touch with us and we can look into that for you. Which kind of leads me into the next point, really, and that's that the life and work experience of mature learners, of adult learners, is taken into consideration. You know, your great life experience, your work experience that you bring with you is incredibly valued by the university. And as a result, in some circumstances, it may be able to be used in lieu of particular qualifications. Always speak to us, always get in contact with us, and we can look into that for you. As I've mentioned quite a lot as well, the course information webpage is the best source of information initially to see what course we have, the content, and also our entry requirements. If you don't find the information initially that you need there, feel free to get in touch. When you're applying via your via UCAS, you don't need to particularly write about a foundation year in your UCAS personal statement. What you should focus on, however, is the course that you wish to progress on to. So if you were hoping to go on to English literature, for example, after a foundation year in arts and humanities, accounting and finance for a business foundation year, or physics for a science foundation year, your personal statement, that's the written piece of work that you submit with your UCAS application, should focus on that particular course and your reasons as to why you want to go on to that program. We need to know really what course you want to progress onto, as we have a limited amount of spaces per progression route. So it's really important within your application, we can clearly see what course you want to progress onto. And it's absolutely fine, as I mentioned earlier, for you to use your 5 UCAS choices. And it's absolutely normal for people to apply for different, for example, direct entry or for their degree, and also to apply for a foundation year as well. And because of that, we understand that it wouldn't always be suitable or possible to include information about a foundation year in your personal statement. Therefore, focusing on your progression route is most important. If we need any information additionally from you, we'll be in touch. As I've mentioned, I work at the Lifelong Learning Centre, and the foundation years are taught at the Lifelong Learning Centre before you progress onto your chosen school within the University of Leeds. The Lifelong Learning Centre is a school within the University of Leeds, and we offer lots of support for our students, and we also offer additional support for mature learners across the university. And the support that you can access at the Lifelong Learning Centre can focus on different areas. It could be aspects of studying, so, you know, starting an assignment, writing advice, reading and research tips, for example, or it could be applying feedback or putting together, for example, an annotated bibliography. We have specific study skills, academic study skills tutors who can sit down one-to-one and have conversations with you and help you through that. We also have a maths tutor, for example, as well, particularly around the science foundation year. And there are other colleagues that you'll be able to speak with as well. And of course, your tutors on your program as well. Not just, as well as the support that we offer, we actually have physical spaces on the campus as well that you can access. So we have 2 physical spaces at the moment. We have one just opposite the Leeds University Union, and we also have one in the Marjorie Arnold Ziff building. And there are spaces where you can just come and work, you know, quiet spaces where you can sit down, get on with your work, and you know, there'll often be lots of other people who'll be using those spaces as well, people who are studying foundation years and other programs as well. So they're really nice places for you to study that you'll have access to for the duration of your studies as well. So not just while you're studying your foundation year, but when you progress on, often people will still, you know, feel comfortable or find that our space is comfortable and would be using those. Of course, you get access to everything across the university, just like every other student would. So you may not use them, but they are available if you would want them. And there's additional support as well. We have a great student support team as well that you can access if there's anything else going on that you want to speak to somebody about, whether that be finances or anything else. So some of the key kind of positives and benefits of doing a foundation year, I think it's sometimes nice just to really highlight what they are. Hopefully a lot of them have come out as we've been going along, and the foundation year is essentially a pathway onto your chosen degree course. I like to think of it as if you had a ladder. It's an additional rung in a ladder which gets you to where you want to be. And as a result, when you graduate and you graduate with a degree in your particular subject area. So when you have that great photo and you have your gown on and you have your certificate, it will just say that you have a degree in, for example, English or history or economics or chemistry. It won't mention the foundation year in your certificate because it's just a route in for you. But that route in does come with some brilliant benefits. Firstly, the extra year that you have on campus here at the University of Leeds means that you get extra time to become comfortable and know where things are, for example. So much more time to get to know the campus, much more time to use the services that are available here at the University of Leeds. So things like the library, for example, knowing where you're going to be most comfortable doing your studies. There are smaller class sizes as well during your foundation year, which means that you will get to know your tutors probably more quickly than you may do when you're starting year one of a degree. And you also get more opportunity for one-to-one time with those tutors as well. Something which I think often gets missed out a little bit, but I think it's brilliant, is the fact that you get to meet and study with students who are going on to a huge range of different degrees. So you get the opportunity to meet people and be in a classroom with people who are studying sometimes very different degree courses. And you may not necessarily always get that opportunity to meet that much of a range of different people within a classroom environment. As I mentioned previously as well in the last slide, there'll be lots of opportunity to develop your understanding of your subject area, but also your academic skills as well. So bibliographies, for example, creating those, writing essays before you start your degree as well. And as we previously touched on as well, an extra year to become accustomed to the facilities within the university, like the library. And often what we find is that the students who start in year one, when they finish their foundation year, have a lot better knowledge of the campus than people who are understandably just starting their course. Just briefly to touch on student finance. Student finance is not negatively impacted by the additional year of studies, or your eligibility for student finance, should I say, is not negatively impacted by studying the foundation year. Student Finance England, and UCAS as well actually, class a foundation year as the normal duration of a degree programme. And that means that you are eligible for full financial support from Student Finance England for the duration of your studies, right from your foundation year to the end of the course. Some of you may have heard of what's called the gift year, which is currently in place. The gift year means that you still essentially get that additional year if things don't quite go to plan. So it's an additional year of ring fence support if, for example, you had to repeat a year or you had a bit of a false start and you started a program that you maybe decided wasn't the best for you. That would still be, you would still have access to that. That wouldn't be negatively impacted by doing a foundation year. And there's no negative impact on your ability to access financial support by taking a foundation year. And also, there's additional support that you may get from the University of Leeds, such as fee discounts and bursaries, depending on your personal circumstances as well. So that's really covered the majority or pretty much all really of the information about foundation years at the Lifelong Learning Centre. If you have any more questions, you're really welcome to get in contact with us. And for any adult learners, some mature learners who are listening, who are thinking, great, but I kind of want to speak to somebody about my next steps, we do have a free, impartial, one-to-one advice and guidance service at the Lifelong Learning Centre, which you will be very, very welcome to get in contact with us about. It's for anybody who doesn't have a recognised degree or UK degree or equivalent qualification, and it's support and advice and guidance from very experienced, very knowledgeable guidance officers who specialise in supporting adult learners with their questions around applying to university, around have I got the right qualifications I need? What about the money side of university? What happens in the application process? What do I do when I receive my offer? How do I do the UCAS application? If you have any questions, they're really very happy to sit down with you, be that on the phone or be that face to face, coming into our campus. The best way to contact us is either to email us at adviceandguidance@leeds.ac.uk, or our telephone number 0113 343 3212. You can also access the application form for requesting a guidance appointment through our University of Leeds Lifelong Learning Centre website as well. But it's a great opportunity to sit down with colleagues and talk about yourself and your options, whether that's knowing exactly where you want to be, and it's just how do I plan a path to get there, or it could just be that it feels like it's the right moment for you to do something for yourself, but you're not sure what it is you want to do. Either and anything in between are absolutely valid reasons for booking a guidance appointment and coming and having a chat with us. And that's it from myself, and thanks so much for listening to this and watching this presentation today. Fortunately, obviously, I can't take questions from you now because it's a recording. However, do use those email addresses, lifelonglearning@leeds.ac.uk, for any further questions. We have a section on our website which has upcoming events, and we'll often have lots of events coming up around different things. It could be applying to university, or it could be student finance, or it could be course specific ones as well, or just studying at university as an adult learner and some of the questions around that. Any events that we run, you're really welcome to come along to. And thank you very much for taking the time to watch this presentation.